Money moves. Breaking all the rules. Evolution, look at life. We find what's cool. Yo, success ain't a straight line, they flip their feet. Turn setbacks to comebacks, now they're straight greats. From the grind to the shine, watch the pros improve. On unconventional money, it's the next gen groove. Genius minds outside the lines. On unconventional money, we rise and shine. Unconventional money moves, where success rewrites the rules.
Be here, Sean. I know you saw the show, liked it, reached out, and you were nice enough to book a time, and saw that you went to Penn State and you've done a couple things. I don't know if you've had a real job. I don't think you've had a real job since school. Have you?
If you consider being a cashier at a pizzeria for 6 months a real job, then that was my only real job. But other than that, not really, no.
Was that like right after school?
It was when I was in what was it? My first year in college. I was a freshman. That was my freshman summer.
Yeah. Oh, no job in school counts.
No, of course not. Well, I was probably on some other substances while I was working. I was at a gym and I was getting a workout in as I was working. So I don't I don't consider that real work.
Yeah, definitely not. And so then like after school, you didn't get a conventional job and you just jumped right into it. What made you decide to do that? Because most people don't. I mean, I didn't know you could. That was even a choice.
Dude, actually, it was out of necessity. Like my dad, I'll kind of tell you the story. Like, went to prison. He was indicted by the government. Like, he bought this bar with like all the stolen money from like his previous business. So obviously not very good. And then, it's like my freshman year. I'm hearing all about this, and I'm like, man, like what am I going to do? I was in this engineering degree, bro, and I just hated it. I was with, no offense to them. My stepbrother's an engineer. I'm going to Denver as his bachelor party next week. Nothing bad against engineers, but it got to a point where I was just, oh man, I need to like be with my own tribe, and I felt digital marketing was my call. Read a bunch of Gary Vee's books, the whole thing, and really just started loving it. And I actually got into my own podcast my sophomore year, which was pretty interesting. So that's kind of the genesis of my whole digital marketing kind of career. And then I was a sales intern at Momentum, did some cool stuff there, made partner, bought equity, and pretty much I run my own side of the business currently. So it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Yeah, I never like really did social media. Like I remember I like took a trip to Spain and like someone's like, "Hey, did you go to Spain?" I was like, yeah." He goes, "Oh, you didn't post any pictures." I was like, "Well, I was like wanted to be present." And this is when like Instagram just got bought by Facebook. So whenever that was, and it was still mostly pictures, but I mean, now it's just like crazy, like how much people are posting and doing everything. It's just like such a saturated market versus when you started, it was just like, post a picture of having a good little night out in a college town and, all your friends like it.
Oh my God, you post a steak that you just made. People are like, oh my God, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Now it's like people are posting the most outlandish stuff. And it's like, oh, kind of mid. It's so oversensitized or desensitized, I feel. It's like this great content is like we expect so much now. You know what I mean? It's pretty wild, the expectations.
Yeah, I mean, the bar has risen considerably. Like if you don't have A+ equipment, your content isn't even going to be shown, or someone's going to see it and be like, what is this fuzzy content? Like basically, I mean, it seems like just like 3-4 years ago, like if you just like were posting videos, you were ahead of the time. Now it's like you need good camera, great audio, editing. There are like some people out there that I see, like who's that one guy who does like the quick videos in New York? Was it the Davis Clark guy, the locked in guy?
Yeah.
He just like whips out his phone. And I mean, he's got like a lot of people. But like nowadays, if you have like a business or any sort of brand, like you really need to be like top notch on all the content that you're producing. Are you still like seeing that, or is there any sort of like difference from when, like in terms of production, like that you've been seeing that's been having success? Like, do you even need that whole team now to get started?
I think about it like as like shining a dog turd. Like at the end of the day, you can only do so much, to a piece of crap. I mean, at the end of the day, like if it really all boils down to this, like if the content you're posting is good, like the actual source value, then sure, you can get away with like not having the best microphone, not having the best camera, editing, all that stuff. But if you have all that stuff and you are still posting stuff that just isn't that good, you're still going to get somewhere. Cause listen, you have clear, audio and clear, video and stuff, and if you're a good looking person, man or woman, sure, that's going to help with as well. That's going to start attracting, more followers. But if your following is going to drop off, and they're very quick, like their BS meter is very, very high to say, oh, this guy's full of it, he doesn't know what he's talking about, unfollow. You know what I mean? So I guess it all goes back to the overall content. You know what I mean? Because my stuff sucked. Like when I first started, dude, I was so bad at like just making Instagram videos and like YouTube videos. Like I would be stuttering, I would have to restart. I don't know if you know loom.com. That's how I made all my videos and stuff. I still do, kind of self-admittedly, but it's like you got to just suck first and see what you need to improve on. If it's like your overall tone, what is it, storytelling, whatever it is. But I feel like people just need to start, and they're so afraid of like just actually starting and gaining that skill. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like tips and tricks that you learn along the way, such as like, hey, you could just record one thing at a time and then mash it all together. You don't have to have like you don't have to get it perfect with one take. Like, oh, I need to talk for 30 seconds straight. You can do like 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 5 seconds. That definitely makes it a lot easier if you're trying to like convey a specific message. Sometimes I just like whip out my phone and just talk and post it. I'm just like, whatever, let's see what happens. I've gotten to the point where I just don't even care anymore.
Right.
And
Me too.
in the beginning, you do care because you're like, oh no, like people going to judge me, and you post and no one likes it anyway. So who cares?
Yeah.
And probably no one saw it.
Dude, it's so crazy. Like I remember when I was even in high school, I would be like the social media guy, whatever. And like people in my friend group and like people that like kind of knew me, but they know me from social media. They're like, oh, like that's Sean Cat. Like, what's he doing? Like social media, like, like you're not posting a selfie, like you're posting business stuff, like inspiration. Like, I don't want to follow that. But then as time goes on, like you're actually, oh, like I was developing a skill, and like you're going through that period. So I don't know, man, it's really important. I think, I mean, especially with what you and I do, you just need to attempt it. And like Alex Ramosi says all the time, there's so many people out there. It's just really providing value. That's really what it comes down to is your stuff helping people, and especially my business, trying to provide as much actionable content as possible so people can follow me. And that's what I'm known for now. And, I can start to, sell clients and stuff. So that's my content strategy. Like, I don't need a fancy camera. I don't need a, $10,000, mic and camera and all this stuff. It's really just, hey, let's get down to business. What's going to help people grow, and, really go from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard just to get rolling. But yeah, I'm still, I don't know if I'm like a skeptical person, but I have like a theory. I'm like, I think something's going to happen with like all these people that are like popular on social media in the next like 5 to 10 years. I believe, I don't want to say like the truth is going to come out, but I think a lot of people are starting to get exposed a little bit, especially the people who are like early in the game who like didn't adapt and were like doing the like little tricks for the algorithm. But I believe like things are getting smarter now. They're just like, hey, we have like the audience and people want to see good content. Like Netflix comes out with a show, they want to put out a good show that people actually watch. They don't want to come out with something and people not watch it all, because otherwise they're just going to burn through cash, especially in that sort of business where you're making shows. Making shows is really expensive. I don't think Apple's turned a profit on Apple TV or Apple Plus, whatever it's called, yet.
Yeah, no, they're still down as far as I'm concerned. The interesting thing about that, I was actually thinking about, Dan Bilzerian. I'm sure you know him. Back in the day,
But yeah, the beard guy
dude is banging
who's like
chicks,
a trust
shooting
fund.
guns, playing poker. You know what I mean? It's people like that, the Ty Lopez's of the world. It's like, do they even need to post on social media anymore? Like, they have so much money, or at least I think they do. Like, they've made all this money. I think what's interesting is there's an account. You ever follow Ball Busters?
Yeah, they came across.
Yeah.
I started following them. Yeah.
That's such a funny account. To your point, I don't know if you were going like that severe, like, oh, they're going to go to prison, or like they're going to be locked up for fraud.
No, I don't think they're gonna go to prison. I'm just always like, if someone's so like super, super, super rich, I'm like, why are they like wasting their time with this content stuff or these course stuff? Like, because the people that are like actually like verifiably rich, none of them are like doing that at all. And like I've read like all of the Berkshire letters, like, and they talk about like the same tricks. The same tricks have been happening since the beginning of time. They're just like, well, if someone was so good at this, why do they have to teach you how to do this? Why wouldn't they just keep doing this? Like LeBron James plays basketball. He's not teaching people how to play basketball. He just goes and plays basketball.
Right. That's a good point.
So that's my thing. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like I've had some people on the podcast that have a decent following, and I was like kind of interested, and I like paid for things. I was like, this is not good, not worth it. But I just did it because like I was kind of scared. So sometimes you got to just do things that scare you. I was like, what's the worst that happens? I lose a little money.
Yeah. Well, and you know, kind of their philosophy too, like people like Grant Cardone, for instance, right? Like he is going to use social media because that's like his bravado. He's very, you know, extroverted, obviously. I'm not a big fan of him. I mean, if you go down like all of the YouTube videos, there's a guy named CoffeeZilla who's fantastic. He goes into like all these, you know, conspiracy theories, stuff like this. I love coffee. Coffee's awesome. And the thing with coffee is he goes on this like whole long diatribe of Grant Cardone, essentially like Cardone Capital. It's like a whole embezzlement, you know, Ponzi scheme kind of thing, right? And it's just like for Grant, he needs that like social media to kind of feel connected to his audience. And listen, some of his stories, like he's on yachts, like he, you know, he's you know, half you know, well-spoken guy. So for him, it's going to make sense. But it's interesting, like, you know, Tony Robbins of the world, you know, all these people, it's kind of cool. And I was thinking about this the other day. People like, what if Jamie Dimon was to come out and like start making content, stuff like that, right? Like just that. I obviously doesn't need to do it, but I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I mean, I definitely think it's needed for people like you and I, especially people like Grant. You know, people who are in these different sectors, and honestly, any sector really needs, you know, social media. It's just how well are you conveying your message and how much are you providing value? Because I think you need to have a whole strategy behind it. Jamie Dimon's not going to come out tomorrow and start posting a whole bunch of nonsense. And people are like, well, what is he doing? We need to find a new CEO. What's going on here? So it's a catch-22, man. I mean, it's all dependent on, you know, how much, you know, value you're bringing and how much stuff you can teach other people. Because to your point, like LeBron James, he's you know, one of the greatest players of all time. He's going to be doing that. Bobby Flay, he's one of the best chefs of all time. Like he has all these courses. But to your point, you get to know how well people are and how good their stuff actually is very, very quickly. So I to your point, I think that's one of the best things in 2025 is you're actually able to check out, hey, is this person good or not? And you can kind of go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen it really flourish like in the golf scene, like seeing like the pros like actually like give tips. Like Bryson DeChambeau is obviously one of the top ones, and Minwoo, was it Minwoo Lee? Yeah, like they're like giving like real golf tips. Like I'm watching, I'm like, all right, this is like legit. Like I don't have to like go find some guy at a club and like have him watch my swing. I could literally like go online and watch like the best teachers give a lesson to someone who's paid $2,000 for that half-hour lesson and watch it. And that's super cool. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. I'm in the financial space and I've just like came to the conclusion like, hey, like I don't want to be giving the same advice as like the financial influencers, because in my opinion is a lot of the financial influencers are preying on people who are in pretty bad circumstances. Like, hey, sign up for this credit card consolidation, sign up for this to get out of debt. And I was like, you know what? That's not my people. And those are the problems I don't want to be solving anyway, because unfortunately, the people who have those problems don't want to invest in anything. They just want everything for free. And the way the financial influencers are getting the money is through the affiliate link. So basically, whenever something closes, they're getting a percentage, but then they're giving financial advice. But it's like, where does majority of your wealth come from?
Yeah. And it's also like you want to solve problems that pay better. So you want to solve richer people's problems. Like it's a volume game if you try to do what you just said. So, and that's something I want to ask you too, is like, how do you differentiate your own content in the sector you're in? Because I know so many like finance gurus, whatever, like what's your whole game plan?
I just attempt to talk about things that I don't see other people talking about, which I met with someone and they're like, well, you need to like, for social media, you have to like borrow content. Like if you see someone else doing something and you see it gaining traction, like, I don't want to say the word steal, but I mean, maybe paraphrase their content and make it their own. I mean, for my content strategy, I don't have the best one, but I do like talking about like current events and like more sophisticated market strategies, or like telling stories like from books that I feel like people should read, but most people probably aren't going to read them because they're investing books and they're really boring. And a lot of them were written a long time ago. So the voice is literally like 1950s or 60s people. So it's like super boring and ultimately just trying to tell stories. Like I posted a old video about Allen Iverson and how he did that deal with Reebok and he like deferred a lot of his money and then he like finally got it when he turned 50. Otherwise he would have been broke forever. I thought that was like a pretty cool story that like I stumbled across. Like little things like that. Or the first billionaire in America was Howard Hughes. Like things, I don't know, things that people don't know about. I love that movie, The Aviator. I've probably watched it like 20 times minimum.
I got to check that out. I haven't seen that yet. Hand raised, but
The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio?
nah, man, I got to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Howard Hughes was the first billionaire. His parents passed away. He was like in his 20s and he inherited the company that did drill bits in Texas. But then he was like, went and made movies and he basically modernized aviation.
Yeah, that's crazy. I got to check that out. Yeah, it's funny. My dad was a financial advisor, and he was, I think he's like 55. He is he's one of the funniest guys I know. I mean, I don't even, like, if you interviewed him instead of me, I don't even know if you could air his show just because he's so like outrageous. Like coming from such like a buttoned up corporate background, he's so like just completely out of pocket. I mean, some of the things I've heard him say, like, it's just funny. Like, he comes from such a buttoned up world, and now to where he's actually writing a book about what he's done, and he's a general manager at this bar. That's what he does. He's not like a financial advisor anymore since he got locked up. But dude, it's just crazy. Like, if he was on social media now as a broker, he'd be the top dog for sure. I mean, he would just have just the way he talks and just his personality is one of a kind. It really is. But yeah, it's interesting to think about too, like how, talking about golf, how things are going to progress, like with AI and with social media, especially because I'm a big fan of Grant Horvat, if you know him, and I know DeChambeau as well. Bryson's great. And the thing with Grant that was pretty interesting is and I don't know, I wish I had it for you, man. I completely am blank right now, but he actually uses like an AI tool to help analyze people's swings, which I think is just like crazy. So he can put in like a piece of code of like, hey, if like the wrist is down, if the wrist is up, like he has all these different inputs and he can actually say one way or the other, like, hey, this is what's going to fix your swing or what's not. And it's like,
oh yeah. I just did that in the chat GPT the other day.
Yeah.
I just went to like an indoor range. I uploaded all my numbers and it said, this is most likely the issue. I was like, all right, I'm going to just work on that one thing. And it was the simplest thing. It was just like your hands are too far forward, probably at address.
Okay.
Just something as little as that. But like with the golf swing, there's just so many variables. You got to start with like, what is it most likely? What is most likely the issue? It's like, all right, this. Because I mean, you change one thing and it changes everything else.
Literally everything else. I'm actually starting to get better at the game. I played when I was in high school, then I broke my ankle, and I potentially was like going to go to a D3 college, get a scholarship, and I was away from the game for a long time. I actually dipped my toes into martial arts like jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. And then I'm like, you know what? It's probably not sustainable. Like I had my fun doing that, but I want to get back to golf. So I'm like a 14, 15 handicap right now. I'm trying to dip back down to like under 10 by the end of the summer. And I'm in the same boat as you are. It's like, I kind of think this is what it is. Like, I don't know. Like it's a guessing game kind of at this point, but you kind of got to like throw a dart, see if it sticks and reevaluate, how that one little thing impacts everything. Cause yeah, I love the game. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So yeah.
Yeah. If you have the data, then you could just basically upload it. And then like, it's crazy. Something I'd never heard of. Like I saw a picture of Xander Schauffele's like putter and it just had like lead tape all on the bottom. So I like went down this rabbit hole. I started asking like Chat GPT. I go, hey, how does lead tape? They're like, oh, lots of pros use lead tape. If you put it here and here on your driver, it helps promote this swing. So if you have a slice, put it here. If you have hooks, put it here and see how it corrects. And I go to my wife, I go, how come no one talks about this? She's like, you can't buy new clubs if you know how to do this. I was like, it all comes down to marketing, which is the line of business you're in, is helping people get their message out there. Now, is it just purely digital marketing that you're doing?
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty much like our main services, social media management, web design, ads, Google My Business management, stuff like that. That's the core of what we do. We also have a roster, Josh, of about 500 techs across the United States. You can go out, like if you and your wife, I don't know, before you got married, like maybe an engagement shoot, stuff like that. And then if you have a real estate property, go and do a virtual tour. If you have a, studio, hey, let's do a music video with this up and coming artist. So that's actually the most fun stuff that we do. And there's a new kind of service that we're offering, like an FPV drone video. It's like a drone the size of my fist that goes up and down and through certain crevices and stuff. That's one of the most fun things I'm actually looking forward to scale this year because that's getting a lot of pop as well.
So this little drone just like follows someone around. It's like a little ball in the air, like a little what is it, the golden snitch, but it's like a
Pretty much.
camera.
Yeah, it's out of what is it, DJI? There's a million of them, but essentially the whole thing is right. Let's just say if you have a restaurant, right, Josh's Burgers, let's make something up, right, and you're like, oh, let's do this cool drone video. So what would happen is you would kind of like you would have someone open the door, the drone would go through the door, very very low, obviously, right, like at my height or someone else's height. It would go through the counter, down through the kitchen, maybe go through like a little window or something, go back and like, go through like people eating the burgers and whatnot. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, the fact that we have that technology is pretty revolutionary. So we're doing it for like, commercial businesses, residential businesses, stuff like that. It's wild, man. I mean, it's very, very expensive and the insurance policies are definitely warranted, but haven't crashed a drone yet, but it's been fun, man. I mean, that's some of the most enjoyable stuff.
Are you flying the drones yourself?
No, so how our marketing team does it is like I'm pretty much like the creative director, shot list. I'll put everything together, and then I have a director of operations who goes and schedules the drone pilot, and then the drone pilot essentially is just, hey, here's what I got to do. Here's what we're doing, and here's the personnel involved. Here's kind of the whole story behind it. I sometimes will be on shoots if it is like a large enough thing where I need to be on it, but very rarely. I mean, I'm mostly like behind the scenes, like kind of just like running things, and that's kind of my whole spiel.
So you're like the coordinator up in the booth with the headset.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the who's the Patriots head, Josh Jacob. Well, whatever it is.
I don't even remember.
I messed up my own analogy. I don't even know why I said Patriots. I should have said Eagles, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm pretty much quarterback in the whole offense, and telling people what to do. This that.
Yeah, digital marketing is a crazy space. How do you guys stand out? Because there's a lot of people out there who are don't know what they're doing in the digital marketing space.
Yeah.
I feel like it's is it crowded? Is it like really crowded, or is that just something that I feel like everyone, like I see a lot of people doing digital marketing?
Well, it's like social media marketing, man. The barrier to entry is so low. So it's like, how do you actually stand out? And like you were talking about when you bought that one guy's course, not the best kind of fit. So it's like, how do you kind of differentiate who's good and who isn't? It's tough. I mean, in regards to digital marketing, it's actually very hard to show, like, because listen, I could steal a case study, I could steal a review, like the work is the main thing that matters. So I think the main difference that people actually hop on us for and go with us is the fact that my business partner Mac, he actually used to work for Google back in the day, the ads department, and then I actually used to work for Google as a photographer. So I think with that Google accreditation, it actually sways people a lot because not just from the photo and the digital marketing side, but just the fact that we were able to work at, let's call it what it is. I mean, it's one of the most valuable, if not the most valuable company in the world. It stands out a little bit, but I think these up and coming marketers, listen, man, I mean, if I was a one man operation, I don't know if I admit this, but it's so easy to like steal things and like, different concepts and, oh, you can make myself look great tomorrow. I can make a landing page and social media, buy a bunch of followers. I can make myself look very successful. So it's tough out there. So you have to have a really good set process, but I think that's probably the main thing that, we use to stand out, I would say.
What's like the first step that most people need to be taking when setting up their digital footprint, regardless of what business they're in?
It's a great question. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this in 2025, but I'll say it anyway. A lot of businesses just still don't have websites, which is like crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like people don't have social medias. Okay, we can work with that, but don't even have websites. Like that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? So the biggest thing is getting the website done. Second thing is, especially if they're like a service area business, contractor, whatever, right? Establishment, what have you got to get a Google business profile. Like that's the most important thing. Like, so for instance, if I had like my own Irish bar, right? I would have, a bunch of reviews, photos of the food, of the drinks, of, maybe there's this like, Irish band coming to play outside, right? Stuff like that, certain events and promos and whatnot. So that's very important. It's like Google's own social media. So if you were to Google, like if you're stopping in Philly for the first time, oh, Irish bars near me or in Center City, and then my bar pops up, that's invaluable because then that person is going to come to the bar, oh, a bunch of cool reviews, like they're not going to spend more than 10 minutes trying to find an establishment. They're going to go to that and go from there. So that's the second thing I would say. And the third thing is, we talked about it earlier. It's the social media, man, especially, you using the example of a bar, how cool it's going to be, especially if it's like a traditional Irish bar that cares about like football, soccer, cares about Irish rugby, that, all these different events, stuff like that. My dad used to work, Josh, at this bar called Tir na Nog, which means, I
Mhm.
forget what it means in Gaelic, but it's like, I forget what it is. I'll tell you after the show, but once I find it. But they're doing Irish rugby, they were doing all these kind of things, UFC events. And it's like, it's so powerful to have that on video, to put it to, Meta and to put it on TikTok. It's really invaluable because they would fill out. I mean, that whole place, there'd be 500 people there. You know what I mean? It's a pretty large space. So to be able to have that capacity and show it off, the people that are big Irish, soccer and football fans, dude, it's crazy. So those are the three things that I would think, if you're just starting off, that's what you need to have. And you can ultimately, really start to scale and grow from those three parameters. Yeah.
I bet they do some crazy things to get approved on Google for the Google My Business.
Yeah.
Last one was we opened up an office in Arizona, and like I did the whole thing. Like I paid for the office. Like it was legit. Like it wasn't me just like trying to bamboozle the system like a lot of people did, where they would just like get a PO box and then Google would send them the code. Like that doesn't fly with Google anymore. You got to do like the real video. So I had to go to. I extended my trip in Arizona, and I went to Walmart and I got some got a poster board, and I got stickers, and I got magnetic tape, and I spelled out 369 Financial, and I posted it on the poster board. I cut it out, I threw it on the sign, and then I went through and I videoed it with, it said 369 Financial on the sign. I went through the office, did the whole thing, approved.
Dude, that's genius.
Yeah, I have it on my fridge now. It's just like, like the stickers that people like put on like their houses or like on their mailbox. Yeah, I just did that and did 369 Financial, and I cut it out and I threw it right on the sign with the address. And I like went through, I was like, approved. Other places I just like slapped up a sign on a door and like I showed them like, hey, this is the office, and it worked, but it wasn't working this time around.
Way to go, man. That's taking measures into your own hands right there. I mean,
Well, I didn't want to go back to Arizona like anytime soon. I mean, I flew there from Maryland. I stayed there with a friend. It was fun, but I was like, dude, I just need to get approved because like in our business, it's like all about like trust. And like by having those different Google My Businesses like Arizona, Maryland, Florida, we can do like targeted ads in those areas, and people search and they see like an office comes up with an address and like, oh, like this is legit, versus like if I just had like my Florida address and I'm running ads in Scottsdale, Arizona, and they see I'm in Florida, like people are not even going to pay attention to that.
oh my gosh, yeah. And dude, that's one of the biggest, like I would say, like, oh, Sean, what's your like little low ticket item, people getting the foot in the door. That's the biggest thing that we're seeing right now, man, is people who need their business profile reinstated. They call us, they find us on YouTube, they find us on social media. That's one of the biggest things that I'm promoting right now, is getting their business profile back up on Google, especially if it's like a, mom and pop shop, plumbing company, small thing like that. Like that's imperative that they have their business profile back on. So kudos to you for, doing something as creative as that. That's pretty awesome. But so many people just don't know how to kind of think outside of the box. That's why they hire us. And then it's like so much easier to build the relationship. And it's like, oh, social media, website, ads, all this stuff that comes out. So good for you, man. That's awesome. That's a good story.
Yeah. I mean, I had like an idea for a blog, and I paid someone like, I didn't know. I was like, it was a, what was the name of the blog? I first called it like the Millennial Slackers Guide. Then I changed it to like Unconventional Money, which is now like the name of the podcast. But basically, like I was writing content about like business, money, health, relationships. Like paid someone like $5,000, like nice site, like doing all the things. I was like, yo, this is gonna be it. And I was just like writing articles every week. Like I probably wrote like 300 blogs, and then just like nothing about the site, like no traffic. And then I saw like who is the dude? Grant Sabatier or something. And like he had this site that he sold. I was just like, I like read through his content. I'm like, yo, none of this is good. Then I realized like all SEO is just like a game that people got into early enough to win the game. And I was like, I'm just late to this game. Nor do I want to play this game, because this doesn't seem like a good way to live a life. Just always having to like push out content all the time. And so like I learned a lot about that. And like right now the big thing, it seems like Google is indexing your website, because you could have all these blogs and Google's not even reading it.
No. And on top of that, people are using ChatGPT to write articles that Google doesn't approve because it's written by AI. So they'll penalize the site even more.
Like blacklist them.
Yeah. It's like I used to rank for this one blog. I think it was how to get 10,000 followers on social media. Because everyone wants like, I mean, it doesn't mean that much anymore, but like back in the day on Instagram, it's like you get that nice 10K and it doesn't like spell out the whole like 9,682 kind of thing. So it actually looks really cool. And I wrote a blog about that, but I used ChatGPT and I had to kind of reword it. We got a huge spike originally, and then it just tanked because, Google indexed it and they're like, oh, you're going to need to like, change it up a little bit. So we have the ranking back, thank God. But I know a lot of people that they only use ChatGPT to write blogs and their website gets no traffic because it's all crap.
Well, maybe all those blogs I wrote will come through one day. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, hope so.
But yeah, it's pretty like demoralizing when you like actually spend the time to like write good stuff. Like, and this was before ChatGPT, so like literally had to write it out and then just like put it on the website because this is what they tell you to do. You're like, oh, you need to do blogs, you need to do this, and then you do it all, and then nothing happens.
Yeah. I remember when I graduated college, man, like I graduated Penn State in 2020. I'm still like somewhat of a baby in the industry, but I really enjoyed writing blogs and like learning that as a skill. And I feel like now it's like kind of obsolete, right? Like, cause you can use AI to write certain, copies, some certain like, stuff like that. And you got to kind of reword it. But yeah, I mean, it's a skill that unfortunately is going to be extinct pretty soon, I would say. But it's something I love to do. I mean, I really do enjoy like the whole process of writing and creating copy and content and stuff. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, the whole AI stuff is very interesting to me for a lot of reasons, obviously, but for video in particular, because you can essentially like, what's the name of the it's not ChatGPT, it's like Sora. Yeah. That thing is going to be pretty dangerous soon. Like just not with like,
Well, I've already made videos on there.
yeah, it's so good. It's almost too good.
Yeah, I came up with an idea. I don't know if it was a good one, but I was like, let me write songs about investing and then use Sora to make like a mini music video about it. I did like if Morgan one I did was like if Morgan Wallen wrote a song about investing, what could it sound like? I don't know. I thought it was a good idea. I did like 3 or 4 of them and that was it. Maybe I need to be more consistent because I've seen like some channels that are like strictly AI that are like super funny that are like blowing up. One of them is my favorite. I'm kind of scared to like say it because it's probably super inappropriate for me to say that I follow it.
Yeah, I have a very messed up sense of humor, so I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, I've seen those videos as well. It's hilarious.
Has to do with people like riding dolphins and doing all sorts of crazy things.
Yeah, it's wild. So
other than that, you said you're a serial entrepreneur. So outside of the, what was it, 360 Momentum, what else are you working on?
Own a boxing gym with a buddy of mine that just launched. Pretty much like a silent partner in that, just doing some marketing here and there. I really do enjoy martial arts. I'd like to give back and just, I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. There really isn't like a belt system, but I feel like proficient enough. So I want to definitely help with that and see, if I can offer any, guidance outside of like my, investing in the place. And then on top of that, I also own a bunch of residential property in Philly, and then I have a condo in Puerto Rico I use as like an Airbnb. So, dip my toes into real estate a little bit. Um, Want to try to, because it's nice too with the 360 stuff, because it kind of ties into real estate and vice versa. So I do know like a handful of agents, investors, stuff like that, brokers. So it does work very well. I try to keep whatever I'm doing in my other life tied to somewhat of what I'm doing in my professional life. So it's fun, man. I mean, I don't know if you dabble in real estate yourself, but it's very different this year to where it was in 2021 and 22, where I bought a majority of my houses. It's literally day and night. Mortgage rates, prices, competition. It's crazy.
Yeah. I bought a house in 2015, and then it was across the street from Section 8 housing, and they were talking about possibly tearing down the Section 8 and like doing like a entertainment district.
Yeah.
And I was like, if they do that, I'm keeping this forever. But then they just rebuilt the Section 8. And so I decided to get rid of it, lock in a gain, and then now I just focus strictly on 369 Financial. I'm just focused on one thing,
Yeah.
and just that's it. That's all I'm doing.
I think that's smart. If I don't know. I feel like in retrospect, I made the right decision, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I got to deal with like this like tenant dryer, like this tenant roof or whatever. So it has its cons to it. But at the same time, like I think Alex Ramosi talks about this well and kind of describes it. Like he puts a bunch of empty cups on a table. He has a full glass of water, and it's like, hey, this is the allotted like mental space you have to work on a certain project. And he's like pouring certain things. Before you know it, the cup itself is only like half full in all of them. So it's like you can only do so much until you're spread so thin. I think for me, like what I did was I grew the agency to like 7 figures. And then from there, I was like able to really dedicate some time to actually buy certain rental properties in the city that like, I actually am like pretty good friends with these tenants, and like we have a really good like working relationship. So I have the time to dedicate to that. People are just starting off, man. It's so hard to like, okay, you're going to dabble in real estate. You're going to do a marketing thing. You're going to be like an affiliate marketer too. You're going to be a podcaster. Like there's so many different things that you could do. And it's like, what ultimately do you like to do? What's going to make you money? What's going to really like serve a purpose in your life outside of just making you money on top of that? Those are some
Mhm.
questions I would wish I would have asked myself a little bit more, because maybe it wasn't marketing. What if it wasn't podcasting? So I don't know, maybe in another life I would have been gosh, what I would have been. I don't know. Oh, well, I'll have to ask myself.
Another reason to watch The Aviator is because like if you get the one really good business, and then that essentially helps you scratch that itch on other projects. Like basically Howard Hughes like made all this money from Hughes Tools, and he took that money to like go make movies and build airplanes and do all sorts of crazy things. I believe he owned most of the land in Las Vegas too. I mean, it just came out not too long ago. I've been following the company for a while. Bill Ackman just like put in like 900 million into Howard Hughes Holdings, and they own like a lot of land, I think, in like Hawaii as well. And they're looking to do like all these developments. So it's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I want to take a look at that movie as well. Individuals like that are very interesting. Like your Howard Hugheses of the world, your Walt Disneys of the world, your Elon Musks of the world. Like that way of thinking, I think is just, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a dying breed. I think it's actually like more adopted now, of just trying to make something out of nothing, especially with social media, especially with digital and just all the things that we're doing. Like there's always ways to innovate and make money and to, serve a purpose. So I would argue entrepreneurship is like at the highest it's been in a long time. Whether it's good or not is another thing, because some people just aren't meant to be business owners. I think you can agree with that. But it's an interesting time, man. I think the acceleration of technology is so high right now. It's really going to be interesting to see. Okay, how is not just AI, but like just human life 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15? Like, because I was born in '97. You know what I mean? I'll be lucky. I mean, I have some decent longevity in my family, so knock on wood, I can break 3 digits in age. We'll see. But I don't know. I'm a big health guy. I probably am one of the healthiest people I know in regards to like overall diet, stuff like that. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't, do drugs. I optimize sleep, like all the stuff you could think I do in terms of supplements. So it's just like,
Cold plunging every morning.
that's the one thing I don't do.
Yeah.
But
I had a thought and it went away. It'll come back. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, the way I see things is like some people like get in the business to like make money, and then other people do it for like a different reason. And I find if you do it for a reason that's not just like revenue generated, I feel like those are the people who have the most fun and end up like accidentally just like making more than everyone else just on, I don't know. It's just the way I see things because I've worked with different people who've had that like revenue generation mindset, like, sales cures everything, blah blah blah. I was like, well, like you're not like building anything. You're just like you need to like kill something every day just to like hit a number. However, like when you build something that's like actually good, that continuously earns money over time, you don't have to live your life that way.
yeah, and it's tough. I mean, you got to wake up and kill. Using your metaphor, go out and kill that thing every single day, right? So it's tough. I mean, I think I wish I would have adopted that hand raised way back and focused more on product than anything. Cause I think Alex Ramosi is one of the best like marketing people out there, like in terms of like actually like being an entrepreneur and like the, nitty gritty and all that stuff. And Layla as well. I mean, they're such a power couple and it's just product. That's really what it is, right? Getting referrals, growing the business that way. Cause it's like the Grant Cardone thing, right? And like I've heard, I don't know if you bought Ty Lopez's course or I'd be interested to see which influencer you did buy, but it's like they have to sell so much now because their product is just completely terrible. It's so bad. So they have to hit their nut every single month. Whereas if you have a good product and you can actually like continue to scale that and sell it, to your point, it's not even about making money, just a good, value add. And you get to build so much, not just revenue for the company, growing the company, but just people trust you more. They like you more. It's just good, better universal energy, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I like look at people, I'm like, maybe I'm doing it wrong. And then other times I'm like, maybe I'm doing it right. I was like, you know what? I'll find out eventually. But I mean, every time I look, like every year I've done better, every quarter did better. It's not like you don't think about it. It's not like, oh, like I know I think on your website said like one of the fastest growing companies. Like I wouldn't say my company's like fast growing, but it's very meticulous and it just keeps growing. So like since I think the first year in business, I made like $6,500, and then like had like super growth the next year. But like since then, it's been like 20-30% every year, just like clockwork, without having to like. I don't feel like I worked too hard. One guy I had on the podcast said I was too chill and I needed to like be more aggressive. I was like, it sounds like a lot of energy I don't want to waste.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He was also trying to sell me something.
Oh my, are you serious?
Yeah, he wanted me to like. I thought it was like a networking group of like professionals. I was like, this is a cool concept, but it was just like he was like it was like a workout thing, and I was just like, I don't need to pay like $2,000 to like get in shape. Like we just had a baby. Sorry, I'm not going to the gym every morning. Like my wife needs my help, and we're not sleeping. So whatever, bro.
Can I curse in this podcast?
I don't care. It's still a free country, right?
Dude, what a fucking asshole. That's crazy.
I still follow him. And just like every time I see him, he looks sicker.
I mean, dude, it's taking something out of your soul, man. I'm telling you. All that bad. I'm not like a energy guy, whatever. I'm like Christian, whatever. That's my thing. But it's like I do believe in karma. I do believe in that. Like you keep doing people wrong,
I just talked to someone the other day. I was like, the biggest thing, the biggest karma that we're seeing this year? Diddy. That is karma in a nutshell right there. Pun intended on nutshell.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I want to go down this rabbit hole.
You don't have to go down that road. I'm just saying, like, that is karma at its finest.
Yeah. The thing with Diddy is like, nah, I don't know if I want to go and talk about this, but I know this is going to air. People are going to listen to this, but
you don't have to go down that road. Everyone already knows. You don't even have to say it. That's the thing. That's the like good part about like a punchline like that. Like you don't even have to go there because like you let people's imagination go there.
and sometimes it's actually better than one punchline because it could be anything. So yeah.
Yeah, leave it open ended.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man. I mean, it's one of those things. Like talking to good people like you, it's good to connect. And I don't know. Like I'm a pretty open, transparent kind of guy. Like I don't like to sell people. I just like to help. And I think like I'm going to be 28 in next month, Josh, right? I'm still a very, very young kid relative to like my overall life experience. But the one thing I will say is like, I try to keep my, I mean, the biggest thing in my life outside of my soon to be 10-month-old golden doodle is my faith. Like I'm a very faithful person. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God. And I think just those values that I've really adopted have been really just, and I know a lot of people, they have their own religion, which is beautiful too. It's just, I can translate that to my professional world and just not lying and, telling the truth, being doing the right thing. Like those things are just so important to do. Just having that be consistent on a day-to-day basis. I think a lot of younger entrepreneurs, and I'm not like painting myself as like the, best entrepreneur of all time. It's just, because I have my flaws as well. I have many of them, but it's just, I try to be as honest as I can. And just like, it stinks. Like people like that, like they mentioned, you try to, hop on a show. Oh, let me sell you on this thing. Oh, this is awesome. And it turns out to just be like a wasted relationship. You know what I mean? It's tough.
Whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Part of the process. So yeah, I mean, this podcast, I think we've done, just posted like 105th episode. I'm not sure which number this will be, but like gaining good traction. I mean, it's just the law of large numbers. I mean, you just got to keep doing it, keep inviting people. People are reaching out now. So I deter some people because I already donated the money to that cause for the year. And I was like, I'm going to have this many people probably on the podcast. So I know like I've already donated money. And I get all these people asking me, I'm like, hey, like, can you make a donation? And I get people respond, I do not. Like, I got one today in all caps, I do not pay to play. And I literally I'm literally donating the money because like the 9 and 369 stands for philanthropy. So even though it's not like a ton of money, I mean, it'll probably be, I don't know, 36, 72, 140, maybe a few $1,000s for the year, which isn't like crazy. At least like I'm still keeping true to like part of the pillars of our company. Because if you're not willing to donate $3, you're not going to donate 3,000 or more. Most people aren't willing to donate anything.
100%. 100%. And that's honestly, I respected that about you because I have paid for podcasts in the past. Like, oh, pay to play, whatever. I don't have a problem doing that. But once I read that it was for charity and it was like for a certain movement, right? That's where I actually got kind of excited. I'm like, wow, this is because I don't know, maybe this is like a really, common thing that I see people, take, but I've never really seen this before. So this is actually a cool thing. And that's why I wanted to be on the show and talk and get to, meet you and know you. And it's like, I think it's a very, very interesting angle, man. And you got to give yourself some credit because that just opened yourself up and it's a very, very wholesome thing to do for sure.
Yeah. Well, I've learned if you want to identify a jerk fast, ask them for some money. And it doesn't even have to be a lot of money. Just ask them for anything and just see what they say. And I've just learned it's the same thing in business. Like people are like, I want a free console. I'm like, well, sorry, the console's $36. And if you hate me, I'll give you the money back. They're like, no, I don't do that. Like I had a guy who had, I don't know if he did. He claimed to have like $5 million. He's like, why don't you take this bull crap fee out of it and let's meet? And I was like, sorry, dude, this is my fee. If you're not willing to pay $36, you're not going to probably want to pay anything.
Right.
And then I learned the reason he was looking for a new financial professional is because he picked one that was a low cost financial professional, and it ended up costing him probably like a couple $1 million in returns because he chose a low fee, low cost, low value service. But what do I know?
Yeah, right. You're only a certified financial professional and you know what you're talking about. You've been at it for a number of years. What do you know?
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, right.
Well, cool. Well, happy to have you on. Anything else you want to say before we dip out here?
No, if I'm able to give myself a shameless plug.
Yeah, sure. Do a shameless plug. If anyone's made it this far, they deserve to hear it.
I know. But yeah, no, if you guys seriously want to get connected with me, just go to needmomentum.com. That's where we have our hub of all of our marketing stuff. And the other thing too, for totally for free, we're giving out audits. So website, social media, Google Ads. Schedule a call with me. Call our number 215-607-6482. We can hop on a call and talk through everything totally for free. So just wanted to give that out there. But Josh, thanks for the time, man. I really enjoyed this. This was a great conversation.
Thanks for coming on. We'll see everyone next time. Cool. We made it.